all you hardcores out there, how you doing? It's Big P here. You know. Tonight we're joined by Terry from London. How you doing, Terry?
Man, I'm all right. Just getting ready to go to bed, man. What an evening. I just want to literally, all I want to do is curl up in a warm bed and sleep. Wake up tomorrow and just life will carry on.
What an evening of boxing, Terry.
A lot of people are slating that card. Remember, I said I think this is a good card. I've when this card was put together, I thought it would be a good card. The thing that held it together for me was the Congo Esserman fight. I think that gave it that kind of that cement that it needed. And then because we knew we'd get a good fight there. And then for me, anything else was a bonus. And boy, did we get a bonus.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the start of that card, obviously, with Matty Harris on, and there were some easy ones on, but going into meaty stuff, Richard Riakporte, he can whack, can't he?
Beautiful, mate. The way he gets full extension in his shots as well. He doesn't even need to. He hits hard when he's playing around. So when he gets that full extension, it's got a feel of Wilder to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Where it's just full rotation for every shot.
Yeah, and then after Richard Riakporte, we've got It's Big Phrase.
Don't know where he's going. Don't know what the plan is with Fraser Clark. I'd be surprised if anyone that's guiding you. If they do, please feel free to tell me because I don't get it right now.
Is this a kid who won Olympic bronze and they're treating him like some dosser, aren't they?
But do we need to dig Ian Lewison up again so he can have a credible win?
I mean, what's going on here with Big Phrase? Olympic bronze. What is going on?
You tell me, Russ. You're the voice of hardcore boxing. Tell me what's going on.
Big Fraser's having his chain pulled, isn't he?
Or is he pulling their chain?
Does he not want to fight people? I don't know, but he's 5-0 now, so he needs to start stepping it up a bit now. He's got to be looking at Nathan Gorman now because he's got an Olympic bronze, hasn't he? So it's got to be Nathan Gorman now.
It won't be. You know it won't be. He's going to get either Phil Williams or Chris Healy next. Mark my words.
Yeah, what about Joseph Parker and Jack Massey, Terry?
You know my views on Joseph Parker, Russ.
Yeah.
I've thought he was trash from day one. I think he showed that he's a
even
trash
more
heavyweight.
trash now, isn't he?
He's just trash. Like most other heavyweights, you could have put Nathan Gorman in there with Jack Massey. He'd have put him down. So Joseph Parker, I think Sky's just getting buyer's remorse, and they're going to find the cheapest way to get him off their books. So they won't give him a big fight. Doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, they're building him up, aren't they, so he can take an hammering again, aren't they?
Yeah, they'll fatten him up with names like Jack Massey, and you'll see him against some second-rate heavyweights that they'll cook up. And then when someone like Joe Joyce or Anthony Joshua, someone needs a dance partner, Sky will offer him up.
Yeah, what about Echo and the Bunnyman and Chris Conger?
Very well fight. And it's not a fight that the casuals will appreciate, right? Because there's a lot of detail in that fight. There's a lot. You can see there were tactics in that fight. That was I think I texted you earlier and I said, this is a chess match.
Yeah.
Because people are making moves in round 2 that they want to see pay dividends in round 5. And, people are holding off certain things in round 3 because they want to let them go in round 8. And all these little things that happen when two really good guys. And I'm not saying that their CVs are stellar, but what I am saying is these are guys who, from a skills perspective and a development perspective, have done it all the right way. And you saw that. Evenly matched, competitive.
Yeah.
That's what you want on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's true, mate. That's true. And do you know what? Them two lads are at the top of their game. They're world-class fighters, but they were in a British and Commonwealth fight, but we've seen lesser fighters win world titles, haven't we?
Exactly. Like, I'd put Esserman in with Avanesyan now.
We now see why Conor Benn didn't want to fight them. These two guys we've just seen tonight. They would obliterate him, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they play with him.
You know what I mean? Julian said that. He said they won't get near him. Conor Ben, as tough as Conor Ben is and he can whack, he won't have got near them two kids tonight, would he, Conor Ben?
Not jab and move. And, you know what I mean? Conor would have just been
Congo would
punching
have played
shadows.
with him, wouldn't he, at range?
Yeah.
It would have been like a surgeon job, wouldn't it, Terry?
Yeah. It would have been a good fight, but they were, in terms of experience and talent, they're a level above Conor.
Yeah. What do you think to the main event, Terry?
If you saw that coming, congratulations. The only person I saw who put money on a Liam Smith stoppage was Dev Sani from Queensbury Promotions.
I didn't think Beefy would win, no.
I didn't.
Did you think he would?
I didn't think he would. I saw the pictures before the weigh-in. They worried me a bit, but I was like, Liam's too old now. But Jesus. Wow.
Liam Smith's the roadman killer. I mean, what's the world coming to? All? I mean, there's hope for.
You know what, Russ?
Yeah.
I'll go back 5 years to one of the most infamous quotes in boxing history. You're either good at boxing or you're not.
Yeah.
Prince Nassim called it then. He said, what did he say? For everything they're telling us that this kid is, I saw that he isn't. Like, and this is 5 years ago he said that.
Yeah.
And all Eubank has done since then is flatter to deceive. And when people say to me, what went wrong with this? And I'll just say, his father wasn't there.
He's pinched a living in Anna Eubank, really, like his own.
No. He's earned a living because he's never been in a bad fight. He's always been in a fight that you will talk about, right?
Yeah.
So he hasn't pinched the living. He just hasn't developed. And I think 2 things for me. One, his father not being there, I think is a big deal because people don't understand how well Chris Reeves fights. Like, I've sat next to Eubank at fights, and the way he's just unpicking what's happening in there, you're like, Jesus. He may play the fool for the cameras, but he's a serious boxing mind. And I don't think this Roy Jones thing works for anyone.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Yeah, what about this American trainer thing all of a sudden? I mean, are they the answer?
What's the question?
I mean, well, all these British fighters getting these Americans in. You know, there's like Callum Smith, Dylan White, they're going with Buddy Holly. Or not Buddy Holly, Buddy McGirt. There's Joshua going on a tour of American trainers, and you know Macklin's been over there. And what is it about these Americans?
So the thing is, British trainers aren't really that good as a collective. They're not. And for all the trainers that get talked up on this channel, other channels, yada yada yada, they're not that good. They're not that bright. They don't understand anything outside of what they were taught when they were kids. That is it.
Yeah.
Right? Most trainers are full of shit. And if you interrogate them about why they do what they do, you'll find out they don't have an answer. Okay. At least you know. So let's say you go to America and you train with Buddy McGirt. You know who Buddy McGirt's trained under. So you're like, oh, he's trained under 3 or 4 guys who are respected anyway.
Yeah.
He was respected himself as a fighter. He's trained people that are respected as well. Right? But what you know with Buddy McGirt is he's been in other people's corners. He's worked with other trainers.
Yeah.
Name me your favorite British trainers, Russ, and tell me who they've worked with.
Well, I've just been saying people I know. Well, obviously, going back how long currently, or over years?
Yeah, he's currently.
Currently, obviously, we like Joe G, don't we? We like Peter Fury. We like.
Okay, but who's Peter gone and spent time under to learn the game?
Who has he what?
Who's he gone and spent time under? Where did he do his apprenticeship?
I don't really know, to be honest. But I'm assuming they've done until their lives, aren't they? The travellers, aren't they?
No, but you see what I mean? Like we assume people have knowledge, but what I like about the American system is when you're coming through, you may have your own. Let's say you've got your own fighters, right? So you've got 4 fighters, and you know they're working their way up at area level, right?
Yeah.
You'll get called up to do someone's world championship fight, so you'll be in camp for about 6 weeks with them. So now you get to see what happens at the world title level before your guys are ready. So you start making notes, Russ. So when it's your guy's turn, you already have some of that knowledge.
Yeah.
But we don't do that here. You get enough money to get a gym, you get some fighters, and you shut yourselves off from the world.
Well, why have we got people like Ben Davidson with that gym of his called the Ben Davidson Performance Center? I mean, didn't want he involved with Conga tonight?
Yeah, but he's he's the same problem as everyone else. If we're going to call out Ben, we call out everyone else who's got a gym because they're all part of the problem. At least with Ben, Ben will get on a plane, go to America, and talk to those trainers. Now, what he brings back, he tries to make as if it's his own, which I think is a bit dishonest. But at least he travels. Where are the trainers who are traveling? Is John Pegg traveling? Is John Pegg going down to see Eddie Lamb and go, Eddie, how do you do this? Eddie, how do you do that? How do you make sure that you don't get any hand injuries? Who's doing that, Russ?
Yeah.
Where are you hearing of people doing that?
We're not, are we?
Yeah. So now imagine you've got a young kid, Russ, young kid who you respect in the amateurs, and he's got to pick a trainer. Yeah. And you choose a trainer. And a year down the line, the trainer's telling you the same things he told you on day one. And you're like, this trainer hasn't evolved. There's nothing new here. No new equipment, no new ideas, no progression.
Yeah.
That's the shit our boxers have to deal with. That's why we're not very good.
Yeah. Do you see it getting worse?
Yeah, because the old timers, they had a bit more knowledge, but that knowledge has never been filtered down. See, at least with Joe G, like Joe G came up under Phil Martin, right? So there's a line. You can see where the line is. How about all these other people who come out of nowhere? Just there in their branded t-shirts, just pop up out of nowhere, just training fighters.
Yeah, these Instagram men.
No, they're not even Instagram men. They're people that these numbnuts in the small horse scene think are legends. Do you know what I mean? And it annoys me when people talk about, I went to this show and I met these people. They're all, they're not all clowns. But I'd say 80% of people involved in boxing are clowns, and they're all faking it.
You reckon, yeah?
Yeah.
So, do you see any new stars coming through, Terry?
Nah.
Are these last lot then? Fury Joshua and Conor Ben?
There isn't another Fury coming through. We're talking about this kid, Moses Atalma, right? And he may be that generational talent, but he's only 18. It's not fair.
The bar, apparently.
Who did what?
Supposed to have roughed up the bar.
Okay, see, these are the things we need to stop in boxing. A 6'5" kid who's 112 kilos is going to rough up anybody, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just he's a big lump. He can move people around. It doesn't mean that he'll get the better of Dubois, but he will make it uncomfortable. And if he doesn't make it uncomfortable, then what's Daniel learning?
Yeah.
That's why sparring stuff is dangerous. When people say, oh, he set about him in sparring, it doesn't mean anything because you'll be able to do that in the 10-ounce gloves.
Yeah.
But we're getting sidetracked. We've got to talk about, because I know, Russ, I know you were sat there open-mouthed as well when Eubank just dropped.
Yeah, go on.
Because that was, he may have had a better chin than Frosch at one point. That's how we were looking at him. Like, he's just taking all these hard George Groves shots and not flinching. Maybe that chin is real. So when you see him drop, that's the thing that surprised everyone. It wasn't really that he was getting hit. It was like, oh, he just crumpled in the corner. And then emotion, I don't think I recovered. Don't think anyone did.
I think that Eubank's career's in tatters now, though, isn't it, Terry?
I don't know what he does next. I don't.
From here.
I don't. Well, he's got the rematch option, but the rematch won't be at 160. Liam Smith has said he wants it at 158. So why would you take that?
Jesus. Liam Smith in driving seat, dictating pace. A powder.
We'll see, because it depends on what the clause was. If it's literally a rematch on the same terms as this contract, then okay, run it back. But get rid of Roy. Whatever you do, get rid of Roy. In fact, yeah, just get rid of him. Get your dad back.
You think his dad's needed?
I think so.
Do you?
Yeah, because this whole trying to box out Roy Jones and trying to be slick and boxing at range and sliding off the ropes and stuff, that's not the Eubank that was terrorizing people. It was him throwing 20 punches at people. That was the Eubank that was terrorizing people, and he's disappeared.
Yeah, he looks a different fighter, doesn't he? He's caught between styles, isn't he?
He looked like
He stands at an angle like Roy Jones used to, like he's always going to throw a left hook, innit? Doesn't he?
it just looked poor, mate. That's what it did. It looked poor. It looked like he was waiting for the engine to kick in. That's what it looked like. Like he's trying to bump start himself. There was no aggression. He didn't try and dominate the smaller guy, which he should have done. He didn't. None of it made any sense. The instructions in the corner made no sense. I'm like, look, just impose yourself. Even if you do it for the first minute of every round, just impose yourself on Liam Smith so he knows you're the bigger, stronger guy. Maybe the weight cut meant that he wasn't the bigger, stronger guy.
Tyron Bove nearly had him out of there, didn't he? A few years ago, didn't he?
Yeah. Maybe Liam should fight Tyron Booth.
Tyron Bove's probably kicking his son that he didn't have a longer camp. Do you know what I mean?
The person kicking themselves right now is Conor Benn. That's the money gone.
Oh yeah, that money's dead now, isn't it? Eddie'll be in bits, won't he?
Well, Eddie will just be talking about why can't Conor Benn fight Liam Smith? Wait, within 48 hours, you're going to hear that.
You reckon?
Yeah. By Monday, Eddie Hearn would have been out in front of that IFL camera talking about will happily make Conor Benn versus Liam Smith at Anfield.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Eddie's
a professional grifter. He won't let this one slip.
You reckon? What do you think about the situation with Conor Benn coming out the last few days saying that he's innocent and all that nonsense?
He's not, as far as I'm concerned. He's not. I don't think the public will forgive him. And that may even work in his favor, being public enemy number one. Now that Eubank seems to be on the wane, we need a new enemy, don't we? It might be Conor Benn. This might be a golden time to be Conor Benn.
Yeah. What about Conor Benn versus Beefy at 154?
Yeah, why not? Kell Brooks still wants in, doesn't he? So the noise is building, but it's about whether you want to see these guys all fight each other.
There were a few there tonight with Begging Bowl, weren't there? Did you see them all? Like vultures, weren't they?
I mean, that's what boxing is, isn't it?
Like seagulls sat on wall at Bridlington Harbour. Or you're throwing bread in and they're coming down like vultures. Or they come down and take it out your chip tray. Or you're walking. Yeah. Never seen that like it. I thought Kell Brook were retired.
Now he'll be back. You know what happens, Russ? They have a year and a half or a year. The body heals up, it rests. All those aches and pains go away. You haven't had to have camps. You've had a good time. Now you're getting a bit bored. And you're like, well, let me go back to that piggy bank that's boxing and go and get another payday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Where's Parker go from here now, though, on Eubank?
I don't know how many fights Parker's got left with Sky, but I'm sure they're looking to get rid of him because he's expensive.
Looked devastated, didn't he, Calla?
What do you say?
Calla looked devastated.
But he hasn't got Parker, has he? Or you mean about Eubank?
He's got Eubank, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. But one of the things I find strange, Russ, is I have a co-promotional show tonight with Wasserman in Manchester, and Calla can't get Lyndon Arthur out. I don't understand that.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, you get the one guy who's from Manchester and he's on your promotional team, and you don't get him a platform like this. I don't understand the sport anymore.
They've done 500 tickets then.
Yeah, easy.
Because it wanted to sell out, were it?
Close though. It looked pretty busy.
Yeah, it did look busy, but there've been tickets spare. They got Lindenhoff for some tickets.
Yeah.
It were an odd show really, but that Conga and the other guy, Echo and the Bunnyman, I can't pronounce his name, that were a great fight. The beefy one were a shock, so I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. The show, Terry.
Yeah, I think if you've paid your money, you're not disappointed tonight.
You got your money, haven't you? You've got the old, you know what I mean. You got the old. Yeah, you too. You've got the old Shockaroonie though, haven't you? You know,
Which yeah,
we him getting knocked out like that. It's the old site lowered the boom job. You know that when Groves dropped Carl Froch.
Yeah.
Everybody stood up and you could hear a pin drop, like when Denny Matthews did Tommy Coyle. One of them jobs. Well, obviously,
yeah,
I wasn't there tonight, but that would have been one of them jobs when he got dropped like that because he got put in orbit, didn't he? Orbit.
Yeah, people can believe that. I'm like, wow.
Plumb on the side of his cheekbone. You know what I mean?
So you got to give Liam Smith his credit. What a punch!
2 seconds. Get there, you. Come here. This box here, this polo, she's got cone of shame on Ed. You know, because she's scratching her ear, so I've been vexed twice with you. Then I say, I'm insured. So why don't you say, well, shouldn't you tell me? So I've got to go for an operation this week, but she should have told me at first time. See, vets are gangsters. Be careful of vets. But yeah, I feel sorry for Eubank in a way because he shot his mouth off. And where does he come out? Where's he going out? Does he drop down to British level? Because he's not pay-per-view now, is he? He's no belt. He'll have to create some fake beef with Jake Paul.
I think you reheat him. You let Liam Smith go and do what he's got to do, and he fights Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that happening. Fights Billy Joe Saunders on a DAZN show.
Well, he's coming off a loss, and Billy is, so that's his only game in town for Eubank now, isn't it? That.
And also, yeah, Billy's not a puncher as well, because people will be coming after Eubank now that they've seen that Liam can do that.
Yeah. It's been a mad evening, but I wonder if he'll change trainers, Terry.
Listen, there's something rotten in that camp, and I don't know what it is, but there's something rotten in there because he didn't look ready. That's what I can say. He didn't look ready at no point, apart from a little bit in the third round. At no point did he have any real energy about him. It wasn't the Eubank we're used to.
Yeah, Conor Bender's just piped up. He's just said to Eubank on Insta, it's a good job you didn't fight me. You'd last 2 rounds at middleweight.
That's bad taste.
Conor Bender's still trying to get in mix, even though he's like, oh shit creek right of paddling him, really. Do you know what I mean? They'll go YouTube way, don't they? Then MMA way, that, and that's just how it's gone in it. Combat sports at the moment, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think you almost have to let the dust settle. Everyone's going to do their positioning, but in terms of Chris, get your dad back. That I just think, yeah, get your dad back. It's the right thing to do.
Well, get his dad involved, advising him, and get rid of all hoo-ha around him, because he's got a bit of an entourage at the moment, and a young Eubank.
Yeah, just get rid of all of that and actually just go back to being that guy who was tough enough to throw 10, 15 punch combinations at people. That's who the fans will come to see. They're not going to come to see this kind of poor imitation of Roy Jones nonsense, which doesn't work. And it's been shown on numerous occasions that it.
Yeah. Where does this leave Eddie and DAZN and Ben and Eubank then?
I don't think that fight can happen now.
It's further away now than ever, isn't it? That's why they tried to push ahead, because they know what can happen down the line, don't they? You know,
Yeah, and I think that they felt Eubank would be there for the taking, and clearly their suspicions were correct. It's just that Liam Smith took it.
Liam Smith in driving seat, God. Paul Smith were unbelievable in ring. I've never seen him move that quick. He wasn't that fast when he was a middleweight. Did you see him jumping around at end? Paul Smith, aka Jim Royal. You see him? Oh, Smigger Smig. Go on, Smigger Smig with shoulder roll. He made brick top shoulder roll look tame. But yeah, a very, very interesting night. Thanks for coming on, Terry. Anyway, I know it's a late one, just a quick one party, just a quick little roundup.
Yeah, and I want to have a little snooze.
Hope you're well then, mate. Well, listen, you have we'll get some kip, and I will speak to you tomorrow, probably. All right, my friend.
All right, mate. All right, you take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was Terry Chappendama. Nice to have him on. What about Beefy Smith then, eh? What about Beefy Smith? He'll be on top at World now. I mean, I'd like to hear Beefy Smith call out some big names at 160. I mean, what's up with Golovkin for Beefy Smith? They were talking about Golovkin for Eubank, weren't they? Do you know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. So what about Golovkin? Beefy Golovkin on Sky? That'd be pay-per-view, wouldn't it? That'd be a good pension for Beefy, because he could end up having to fight 4 or 5 fights to get that money. If he can't get the Golovkin fight, because he's had Canelo once, so he'll not get that. They could get Golovkin one. Why not? Why not Beefy Golovkin? Okie dokie. Big shout out, Welcome Estates and Spartan Demolition. Peace out. Porky's Corner is proud to be sponsored by Spartan Site Solutions. They are specialists in civil engineering and demolition contracts for the construction industry. Interested parties should visit their website or contact Porky's Corner for a referral at porkycorner@mail.com.